Okay, we're going to start the class today with services marketing mix. This is the topic we'll talk about. Okay, and services marketing mix or marketing mix in general is something that one does in marketing, one does in strategic management. Anytime that you're studying marketing, anytime that you are working in marketing role, performing marketing functions, become a marketeer, marketing mix is the base of all functions of marketing. Okay. Before I go further, I want to check with you all if I am audible and my slide is visible. Can I have a quick yes, either on chat or voice?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. So I am not going to move any further from this slide today. Perhaps I'll go to another one slide after this, but I will not go anywhere else. This particular PPT, this particular video is already shared with you. So I'm sure you'll find some time to have a look at it. Okay. I'm going to only discuss with you what is a marketing mix, what is a services marketing mix, what are the 7 P's of services marketing mix, and we will touch upon each of the P. Okay, today we will only touch upon each of the P. As we progress in the chapter, we will be talking more about, every P in much more detail. Now, to begin with, marketing mix. Anyone would like to share what we mean by the term marketing mix? Anybody? Anyone would like to try? Okay, I take silence for a very clear no. I will go ahead and share with you that the term marketing mix was first originated in the year 1965, if I'm not mistaken, by an American called Jerome McCarthy. And initially, when he first coined the term, marketing mix comprised only of 4 P's, and the 3 additional P's were added in much later, I think in the 80s. But originally there were only 4 P's in the marketing mix. Even today, when we talk about a marketing mix for a product, for a physical product, rather goods, we still have only the 4 P's. Whereas when we talk about any kind of service product, there are in all the original 4 P's, and in addition to that, there are 3 more P's. It makes it 7 P's of the services marketing mix. Now, we've been talking about P's a lot, but what exactly is the marketing mix? Well, marketing mix is nothing but various components of your product, and using these components in the most effective manner by the marketer in order to strategize for the business, which means that each product has 7 components to it. Each service product, for example, has all these 7 components to it. A marketer will decide how he uses the various components. These components could be changed, and we'll be talking about how we can change it. Each component can be changed, and a marketer will decide what is it that he wants to change in each of these components. And why does the marketer change the P's in the entire components of the product? He changes it so that he has a goal in mind, so that he can strategize. And whenever we strategize in order to achieve our goals. And the goals of any business is the bottom line, is the sale, is the revenue, is profitization. So marketing mix is nothing but the 7 components of a product which are used in the right amount or right combination rather in order to strategize to achieve the goals. Okay. Another important fact of a marketing mix is, one, it is very fluid. For example, if I take any one P from here, anyone would like to pick up any P from here? Can I have someone pick up any P from here? One of the P's that you see here? Would you like to pick up one? Manali, would you like to pick up a P from here?
Yes, ma'am.
Any one P you'd like to pick up from the slide that you see?
Promotion.
Great. Thank you, Manali. So for example, I'm a marketeer, okay, and I have a product. The product is, assuming the product is a new product in the market, okay, and I realize that I want to promote it. And I will have a strategy to promote. I want to promote, like, blitz the market, bombard it with the product, have everyone to sample it, go all out, eat up my competition, blah, blah, blah. Promotion is my strategy. Okay, I want to promote my product. I want the product to be a ghar ghar ka name. Everyone should know about the product. Everyone should be using a product. So I will promote heavily. So I, as a marketer, I will decide what kind of promotion gimmicks I want to do. Okay, for example, I'll do one-on-one free, or I'll do you'll get a first month free, and then after that you'll get a discount, or I'll do an early bird promotion, or I'll do free sampling of the product XYZ. I may have rigorous promotion, not throughout the life of the product, but initially, especially when I'm launching a new product. So that's what I'm deciding as a marketer. So the second aspect which I'll talk about now is, assuming I'm rigorously promoting my product, like Manali said, I'm promoting it. I have made certain decisions about promotion. So one of the P's I have decided. Now that P that I have decided will also impact the other P's. Impact the other piece means that when I'm giving one-on-one free, my price may get affected, isn't it? The way I'm producing it, the way I'm distributing it, the way my people are handling the product, it has a bearing, or it has an impact on the other piece as well. Okay, so whenever that we decide something for a product, decide on a particular aspect of a product, it may also have a bearing on the other aspects. So you have to take those consideration also in mind. So if my promotion is going to affect my accessibility of the product, or the distribution of the product, or it's going to impact the price of the product, I have to take those considerations in mind as well. So you don't really work in a vacuum, only concentrating on the promotion. In this case, you also take into account what is the impact of that promotion decision on the remaining aspect. Okay, so that is a marketing mix. Whenever you're strategizing in marketing, marketing is nothing but strategizing. Strategy is nothing but planning to achieve the goal, making plans, and plans are made dynamic because the environment is so dynamic, right? So you have to make sure every marketer has to keep making some changes in the product. And when I say he has to make some changes in the product, is not the physical form of the product, not the manufacturing of the product, but a marketer has to play around with all these 7 aspects of the marketing mix. Sometimes if your product has gone down, you may want to change the product a little bit. You may want to change the packaging of it a little bit. You may want to change the promotion gimmicks a little bit. You may want to try out some other pricing for your product a little bit. So if you're, in order to keep up with the game, in order to keep up with your sales, a marketer has these 7 components that he has access to and he can play with in order to make important strategies for the business. Are we good with that, everybody? Can I get a yes? Silent class, can I get a yes? Can I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. Great. It is so good to hear your voices. Anyways, moving forward, we in essentially spoken about marketing mix. We've said a product marketing mix is 4 P's. We've spoken about services marketing P being 7 P's. Okay. Now let's see what are the 7 P's. What are the 7 P's? 7 P's that you see in front of you. You can read it out for me. Okay. You can follow my pointer. What is this? Yes, people. Where do you see my laser pointer?
Product.
Product. Thank you, Mihir. Now, I can't go ahead with this class if everyone chooses to be that silent, okay? Which is the second P?
Price.
Kunal. Thank you, Mihir. Kunal, can I have the third? Kunal. Varad.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Where do you see my, the first is product price. Varad, where do you see my cursor?
And product price, and third one is
Place.
this. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, then we have promotion. Can you all see my screen? Like, can you see one screen with a picture, with an image of the marketing mix? Yes or
Yes, ma'am.
no? Okay, Varad,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
No,
read
ma'am.
out. You see or no? Can you all see it or can you not see it? I'm asking you something.
Ma'am, we can see.
Thank you, Manali. That was so clear. Okay, Varad, I want you to read all the 7 P's. Okay. You can start from
Yes, ma'am.
anywhere. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the product, the price, place, promotion, people, physical evidence, and the process.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Varad, for that. Like Varad rightly said, in services marketing mix, there are 7 components: product, price, place, promotion, and additional 3 are people, processes, and physical evidence. Okay. Now let's understand each of this in gist. Okay. One is product. Product, we've already spoken in introduction of marketing, is any item which is made available to satisfy the need and it comes at a price, which means that if you need something, I will provide you with an item. It can be a physical or an inanimate service which is provided to you at a cost, and that particular product, when you use it, it'll satisfy your need. So essentially that's a product. Today we'll probably also touch upon the 5 levels of a product, okay, which is again not there in your syllabus, but you need to know. Second, we talk about price. Price is basically the selling price of the product. It is the price that is decided by the marketer to make available the product. Okay, so it is definitely a cost component plus profit to it. So you have to first calculate your cost, plus you have to decide on a certain margin of profit in order to arrive at the price. Give me a minute, please. Hello.
Ma'am, I wanted.
Sorry. So price is, once you've decided on the cost, you will attach a margin, a profit margin component, and come to the selling price. But it is not only decided on the basis of cost. What you also take into account is the demand for it and the supply for it. Okay, so the dynamics of demand and supply, we all know, you forecast your demand, you see how much demand is anticipated. If it's going to be on season, off season, your pricing will fluctuate. So pricing is also one of the most fluid element of the marketing mix. You play around with prices like every day. Very, very fluid component. You can't change the product every day, but you can change the price every day, isn't it? Then we have, and the pricing has a bearing on everything, and everything has a bearing on price, right? If you in change your product, if you change your promotion, if you change your delivery distribution, all of that impacts price and vice versa. Okay. Then we have place. By place, we mean normally it is known to be a marketplace. Marketplace could be a physical marketplace or it could be an electronic marketplace. But when we talk about place, it means that it overcomes the utility of location. And how do you overcome the utility of location? Well, by making the product available. How do you make a product available? By having a strong distribution channel. So by place, we mean the distribution of the product from the producer or from the service provider to the end consumer. I have a service here. How do I make it available to you? That becomes my distribution. So it also includes all your, various intermediaries that you will have in order to make your product available. For example, if I am, I have a homestay facility in Lavasa. How do I make it available to prospective customers in Pune and Mumbai? Probably I will tie up with an Airbnb, for example. So Airbnb becomes a distribution channel. It's an aggregator platform which provides a marketplace, a meeting place for the potential buyer and seller. Okay, so place is nothing but your distribution channels. Depending upon the product or service that you have, the channels may vary. Okay, right now in distribution, all of us in the last 1.5 years have seen that the distributions change so much, isn't it? It's become more electronic in every possible way. The way things were traditionally made available to how they are made available today is absolutely, taken a turnaround, right? And the marketeers took that decision or remodeled their businesses as far as distribution was concerned in order to survive their businesses. All right, so place is your distribution. People. Now before I come to people, let me go to promotion. Promotion, I'm sure all of us know what promotion is. When we first spoke about marketing in the first class, we spoke about promotion being various gimmicks that are, they are basically baits. They are fun, super ideas. And these ideas look at captivating the customer, having the customer to try your product, having the customer to make the switch. So promotions are those activities which look at capturing a customer. Okay, so how do you capture a customer? How do you entice a customer? How do you have him to buy your product? Well, these are short-term spurts of decisions you will take. Okay, these are not long-term. And these promotions include various things. What are the common promotions that you guys have come across? Anything that comes to your mind, any kind of promotion you guys have come across? Guys, I am going to really work on the virtue of my patience. Yes, Mihir, I think Mihir has put in the chat any kind of promotions. Very good. So Mihir has said social media promotion. Absolutely. Social media, digital marketing, electronic marketing, we all know it. They profile, based on the profile of information that we put on social media, they have the demographics. They know demographics is describing me as a customer. Once they have my data, they will throw at me items which they think will appeal to me. Okay. Absolutely, yes. Social media has a big role and scope for it. In fact, social media not only gives you the information, but it personalizes information. Personalizes information as in depending upon what kind of a woman I am and what are the things I'll probably like, depending upon my history of browses. If I've looked at something on Google, if I've looked at a particular site, they will give me that sort of information. So if I was shopping for shoes online, suddenly my social media is filled with advertisement for shoes, um, that is personalization. So social media today, yes, all over, and that becomes a part of advertising. So advertising is one. Second is having promotional activities. Promotional activities means if it is 15 August, suddenly everyone is getting patriotic, and we all have seen companies doing things during festivals and during 15th August. So sometimes if it's 15th August, they will give you 15% discount. Or if it is 15th August, they will have a tricolor ka something given along with it. So promotions can be, we all go to DMart. In DMart, there are very common promotions like 50% off, buy one get one free, buy two get three free, and uh, testing, trials, lucky draws. Many such things are also promotional activities. Yeah. So promotion is required for a product mostly when you want to gather customers' attention, have him to buy your product. Okay. So these are product price place promotion are four aspects the marketers have to work upon. Pricing we've understood is the most fluid and it impacts every other P. Okay. Now in services marketing, we have three more P's. One is people, people because we've spoken in characteristics of services. Service is people providing service to people. Yeah, so it's people to people. So people are an important part of services and you can't not include them. So here in people we talk about customers, we talk about internal customers which are your employees, and we talk about external customers, both prospective customers and actual customers. Okay, and what do you do with people? What do you do with people? Are you recruiting them, training them, um, uh, upgrading their skills? Are you taking care of your customers? Are you doing a loyalty program for them? Are you doing a recce? Are you doing a fam? Are you meeting them? Whatever you want to do with your people or people roles that strengthen the relationship between the company and the customer becomes very, 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 very important. Okay, because your people are your service. We've spoken about it. Simultaneity. In people are your service. So if you don't invest in your people, in services, your product is zero. Yeah, because your product, I think last time Amit said that, you are as good as the person who's providing the service. So people are that important in service. So you've got to invest in your people, both internal and external. Then we have physical evidence. We touched upon physical evidence earlier. Physical evidence means that any physical things that are available in the environment when the service is taking place. So when we are, think about the time you were in the classroom, the physical evidence would be all equipment that is required to make sure that it is a conducive environment for teaching and learning. It could be the kind of class, the size of the classroom, how well it is, what kind of infrastructure there is, what kind of audiovisual equipment there is, how big the blackboard is, how the teacher comes in, is the teacher looking professional? um, all of those things are physical form of the service that we are preparing for, which is teaching. Okay. Similarly, every service has certain physical components to it. You go to a restaurant. Yes, you go to a restaurant, you will see the setting. You go to a hotel, I'm sure especially we women, when we go to a new place, we will gauge the place by the locality, the location, the building bahar say how it's looking, under say when you enter, the feel of it, all of that is physical evidence. Okay, all of that is physical evidence, and that physical evidence we've already discussed is important because it gives form of evaluation of the service, and it also helps to facilitate the service, helps to carry out the service. Okay, and then last but definitely not the least is what we know as process. Process means the series of actions that you undertake in order to carry out a particular service. So if I say that the service is to provide, answer the phone call, customer service phone call, then process will be how should you answer the call, how should you greet, what is the query that you will ask, where will you note down the query, how will you solve the problem, what will you do if you can't solve the problem, what will you do after the problem is solved, and so forth. Right, so every service, every task of service has a prescribed process. Process means, normally we all know, a very very common term by now is standard operating procedure, is an example of the process design. And we all know why we have SOP. We have SOP because it talks about the task, it talks about the benchmark of the task or the standard of the task, and it also details the steps that you have to undertake in order to complete the task, along with the equipment and the usage of the equipment required. So process basically is the way you go about doing a service, and we have to have a process in service because services are very variable, and in order to cut down on the variability, in order to make it more standardized, in order to make a service more consistent, it is important that you have the right kind of people, and the people are trained to carry out the processes in a given way, along with the use of physical evidence. So those 7 P's are important in a services marketing mix. The function of a marketing mix is to provide the basis for marketers to make strategies. If you make strategies, you achieve your goals. Strategies are made using or making changes in the 7 P's that we've just spoken about. Okay. Most dynamic P is your price. Most dynamic P is your price. And any change in the price, lower or higher, will impact the other P's also. Okay. Are we clear with the services marketing mix? If you want more detail, you can look up my notes. You can look up my videos, which are already there on your class group. Important for you to be very clear with the services marketing mix component with examples. If we are clear, I am going to quickly take 2 minutes to do one last slide very, very quickly. Can I go ahead and do one last slide with you all? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Kunal. Okay, we are going to do something which is called one product. In product, this is again not in your syllabus, but this is something you need to know. Product, we all know by now. I'm not even asking because asking takes a lot of time. We know by now product is anything which is made available for sale in order to satisfy the need, right? So product is sold by the company to the customers, right? Now, when we talk about a product, basically there is not one product. A one product has many levels to it. Okay, so let's see what the various levels are. Okay, the first thing is core product. Core product means the underlying product, which is going, the actual product which is going to satisfy the need of the customer. So going back, when we were talking about needs and wants, we spoke about thirst being the need, and we spoke about want being water. So here the core product becomes water, means प्यास लगी है तो क्या प्रोडक्ट चाहिए? पानी चाहिए. So the core product, the basic benefit that will solve your need is the core product. So going by the same example of thirst being a need, water becomes the core product. You will not want Coke or you will not want iced tea. You'll want like water. I just need water to quench my thirst. That's so basic. So that's your core product. Now, sorry. Give me a minute. Yeah, I was trying to figure out my enter option was not working. That's what happens when you get used to the laptop and adjusting back to a desktop. Nonetheless, then you have the second level. The second level is called a generic product or a facilitating product. Now, my core product is water. Now, how can water be given to the customer? Okay, how for water you need pulped bottles, you need plastic bottles, I mean, or glass bottles, but you need some kind of container in order to make the water available. So the companies are in, those are into not having plans for mineral water, but having plans for manufacturing uh, bottles, water bottles becomes a facilitating product. So the core product is needed, but along with the core product, you need the facilitating product, the product which will help the core product to be available to the customer. Right? So I don't know. During my times when we first watched the movie Cocktail, it spoke about, you know, in the initial scene between Tom Cruise and Elizabeth Shue, they spoke about how people have become millionaires, and they spoke about not just the ones who make shoes, but even shoelaces. And then even in shoelaces, you know, at the end of the shoelace, you have that plastic round, you know, I don't know what to call it, but so there are people who make that, and those things, those small components are also part of important part of the shoe, right? So those are facilitating products. So in case of water, the facilitating product will be a water bottle. So plants which have plastic water bottle, disposable, whatever containers that you make water for becomes a generic product or the facilitating product. The third is the the supporting product. Supporting product is anything which will add value to the facilitating product. For example, add value could be that you probably serve the water not in a plastic bottle but in a glass bottle, or the shape of the bottle will differ, or you know, something which adds to the already existing product becomes a supporting product. Okay, it will help elevate the product. Going back to the water, supporting could also be if you're adding some flavor to it or if you're making some small change. Okay, supporting product could also mean that when you're having water, you probably have a refrigerator. तो बहुत सारी दुकान में you have ठंडा पानी. So you're not just giving water, you're not just having a plastic bottle, but you have a fridge now in order to cool the water and give it to the customer. So that becomes a supporting product, which means water is water, but when you have a fridge, you give thanda pani, it adds to the experience of the customer. Then you have the augmented product. Augmented product is the environment in which you are serving the product. Same example of water. You have water at a tapri or a pan shop, which is like not thanda water and khade you're having whatever, it'll still quench your thirst, right? It is still doing its job. Vis-a-vis when you go to a shop like a kirana shop where he'll probably open that fridge and give you thanda pani, you're even more satisfied. You're like, now I'm feeling more satisfied, my thirst is quenched, I had thanda pani in this heat, compared to when you go to a restaurant where there is AC, where there is soft seating, and you know, not just having pani from the bottle, but they serve you in a clean, fancy glassware. You have the water. the experience will be even more satisfying. So the augmented product is giving a conducive environment in which you are giving the product. You know, it's a joke, but not a joke. Sometimes they say na कि you go to a five-star hotel, तो क्या 10 रुपए का chai coffee they give it in 200 bucks. So that is an augmented product. The experience of having a chai in fine china, in a sofa where you just sink in, beautiful ambience, nice music, nice smell, not having to rub into people's faces, pleasant looking people serving you, probably you're watching the match, and that chai becomes another experience. That's an augmented product. And we all know that's the cost differential, the price differential also. Okay. And give me a minute. Okay, I can't, sorry. Yeah, I can't. Can you all see my thing? Because I don't think I'm able to navigate it. Is my slide working? Class?
And we can see
Class?
the
Ma'am,
slide,
we
but
product levels wala slide.
Pardon? Okay,
Product
can you tell me? Yeah, can you tell me the last level after augmented? Because I think it's not working here. Is it showing the last point, the fifth point?
potential product.
Pardon? Potential.
Potential
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bhumika, for it. Last is, I'm sorry, I can't see it because it's blocking. Potential product is what your product can become. एक बार you've given, augmented is the setting. Potential is what product can become. Thank you, Amit. So tell me, with the case of water, what can a normal pani, then thanda pani, served in a fancy glass, then thanda pani served in a fancy glass in a beautiful restaurant. What else can become of your pani potentially? What can you do with it in order to quench thirst better? Potential is you can make nimbu pani out of it. Thank you, Meher. Mineral water or carbonated water or lime water, right? So all these are waters, but these are forms of waters which probably are more healthier or probably more nutritious or probably more tasty. So your plain simple water, if you add minerals to it, if you add flavors to it, may become, yeah, sparkling water, still water, mineral water from the Himalayas, or नींबू पानी, शिकंजी, काला नमक डाल के, whatever. That is how your basic product can elevate into something else. So every product has these levels. So if I buy a mobile phone, where's my mobile phone? Where's my mobile? I don't know where. Yeah, if I have my mobile phone, even a mobile phone has a core product, facilitating product, supporting product, augmented product, and um, potential product. Okay, potential will be मैं upgrade कर सकती हूँ, क्या क्या feature है, internal memory, external memory, what I can make this phone out to be. Core product will be the way I bought it. Facilitating would be I got a cover for it so that I can hold it or whatever. Supporting again will be, augmented will be, in a product, augmented is not that much important because environment is not so much important. But yes, you can talk about my experience when I procure it or when I go for a testing, for example, could be an augmented. So what we're trying to say is every product, there are various levels and you have to make sure that all these levels are well taken care of in order for the guest to have, for the customer to have a more satisfying experience. The customer will get satisfied with the core product, but if you stop at the core product, you're losing on that extreme satisfaction which the product is capable of giving. And when you stop at the core product, customer is not that satisfied. When he's not that satisfied, when he's only satisfied, you are risking your customer. You're risking losing your customer because the customer is only satisfied. He has to be delighted in order for him to come back to you again and again. So every product you have to think of it at various levels. So sometimes, when you have a core product but you don't get a facilitating product, मेरे पास ये product है लेकिन मेरा प्रोडक्ट के लिए मेरे पास उसका कवर नहीं है या मेरा सप्लायर वेंडर नहीं है जो मुझे कवर प्रोवाइड करता है, हाउ विल यू रियली डू इट? सो यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट यू have filtered into all these 5 levels of a product successfully. With that, I'm concluding my class for today. I apologize for starting a bit late. If you have any queries, I would definitely not want to take it now because it is time for your next class, but we can take it up in the next class when we meet. In the meantime, I'm also sharing the notes and resources for the module which we will be doing next, which I think is product. We'll be talking about product, price, promotion, physical evidence, people, and processes in detail in the remaining chapter. So I'm going to share my notes. Please have a look. Please be updated with my notes and resources for us to continue with the class. Thank you all very much. Before you all